Welcome everyone to the deep dive. This is where we take a whole stack of sources and really, unpack them to find the most important insights for you. Today, we're plunging into a Thanksgiving story that's, it's probably unlike any you've heard before. So picture this. It's 1911, Henderson Harbor. You've got the Dulles family all gathered in their cottage, and on the surface, it's pretty much everything you'd expect from a traditional Thanksgiving, right? You can almost hear the muffled laughter, the sound of forks on plates, see the table just loaded with food. But, and this is where it gets really interesting, beneath all that surface civility, there are these old rivalries, new ambitions, just simmering, waiting to bubble up. This isn't simply a holiday meal, you see. It's actually a critical rehearsal for power. So our deep dive today is focusing on Thanksgiving at Henderson Harbor, a family power play, which comes from the book The Witness Tree. We're going to really dig into how this seemingly normal family gathering works as a kind of microcosm of ambition and hidden agendas. Now, to really get this intricate family drama, let's introduce you to the key players on this strategic chessboard. First, you have Eleanor. She's the family's keen observer, very analytical, watching every single exchange like a silent recorder, just noting every little detail. Then there's her brother, John Foster. He's already dreaming big, picturing his grand ascent, not just from law school to Wall Street, but way beyond that. And then there's Alan. He's the restless one, always sort of masking his failures behind this hollow laugh, almost forced, and presiding over it all, the powerful patriarch, Grandpa John Watson Foster. He frankly sees this whole family gathering less as a celebration and more like a training ground, a chessboard, really, for grooming future statesmen.
Yeah, and what's truly fascinating there is Grandpa Foster's whole philosophy. It's quite something. For him, the lesson he's trying to instill is, it's crystal clear and pretty unsentimental. The world, he believed, doesn't belong to those who just uphold faith or family honor, like, many traditional families might teach. No. Grant Foster firmly believed the world belongs to those who really master business and diplomacy. It was a very pragmatic view, almost cynical, especially for that time. He even had this stark prophecy he told his grandson directly. He said, Wall Street must own Europe. Simple as that. And diplomacy. Well, according to him, that's only the way in. So this really sets the stage. It highlights the incredibly high stakes of the family expectations that are driving everything in that room. It turns even a holiday meal into a kind of test.
You can almost feel that pressure, can't you? That tension radiating, and especially around Alan at the dinner table. His father, the Reverend Dulles, is just relentlessly pushing him, pressing him on his promise, his word to pursue divinity school. But Alan is just stubbornly resisting. He says he hasn't decided for anything, flat out. And that refusal, it just sparks this really palpable silence around the table, which then, boom, morphs into anger. For his father, it's clearly betrayal, absolute betrayal. And for Eleanor, who's watching all this from the sidelines, it's just another stark confirmation of Alan's, let's say, wayward path.
Right.
So how does this kind of open defiance, particularly from Alan, play into those simmering power dynamics within the family?
Well, that's a really crucial point because Alan's resistance, it isn't just about his career choice, right? It's a direct challenge, a challenge to the patriarchal authority, and especially to Grandpa Foster's grand vision for the family. And this kind of simmering conflict where you have personal choices clashing head on with these huge family expectations, it creates fault lines, cracks in the facade. And it's right in this charged environment that Eleanor makes her pivotal discovery, almost by accident. She slips away from the dinner, maybe for some air, heads to Sully's fish shed, and there she finds her cardigan neatly folded. But tucked inside, there's a note, a quiet confession from Mo Reevey. The note reveals Mo never meant to cause trouble for Alan, and maybe more importantly, it confirms her father's temper has cooled, quote, for now. So what this note really unveils are secrets within secrets, layers hidden beneath the surface of everyday family life. It hints at this whole web of hidden truths that are probably impacting Alan's behavior, his defiance.
And that's the kicker, isn't it? That's the real turning point. Because what Eleanor uncovers isn't just some, casual secret or bit of gossip. It's practically a blueprint, a map to the family's fault lines. She suddenly understands that loyalty isn't just an expectation they talk about. It's a currency. It can be traded, used, and that shame can be weaponized. And how the family name, which seems like this protective shield, is also incredibly fragile when secrets are involved.
Wow.
So this isn't just intelligence about Alan anymore. It's this profound insight into the real levers of power within the Dulles household. It transforms her, really, from just being this passive observer into potentially a very formidable player in this strategic family game.
So let me see if I'm getting this right. This seemingly small personal secret about Alan and Mo Reevey. It's not just gossip anymore. It actually becomes a strategic tool for Eleanor.
Exactly.
It shifts the entire power dynamic potentially in her favor within this really intense family setting. Is that fair to say?
Precisely. You've hit the nail on the head. And that's exactly why, as the story tells us, Thanksgiving at Henderson Harbor was, well, anything but a typical holiday gathering. It really wasn't a time for gratitude, not in the way we usually think of it. Far from it. It was, just as we said at the start, a critical rehearsal for power. The meal itself might end in silence, an awkward, tense silence, probably. But as the witness tree makes so clear, the game has only just begun.
Mm-hmm. And that's really the thought we want to leave you with today. How do these kinds of underlying family dynamics, the ones driven by ambition, by hidden agendas, by secrets, how do they continue to shape relationships? How do they influence the broader paths individuals take, even when they're masked, by outward appearances? Think about that image. The fireworks crackling above the harbor sky, bright and festive, but completely masking the tension that's simmering inside the Dulles household. This wasn't merely a family dinner. It was a strategic opening move, a first play in a much larger ongoing game of power. A game that, continues to play out in ways we often don't see, maybe even in our own lives. Something to think about.